The only reason I ever watched professional basketball was because I was a really big Steve Nash fan, so I was a Suns fan.
So random.
I no,
A
like
Suns
hella
fan.
random, like actually really fucking random. I mean, and you know my family, like all of the Lakers fans, like in the family. But yeah, I
Is it
ended up
is it because
being.
he's like a soccer enthusiast, or
I
why
think so.
Steve Nash?
I think
Yeah.
it was just like that was my connection. Was like he was a soccer enthusiast, used to play soccer, all that kind of stuff. So I was like, that's fucking cool. So he was.
You know the story about him and his wife
I mean,
or
Kobe
ex-wife?
was a soccer enthusiast too, but whatever.
You
I
know about that,
remember.
Adrian?
Uh-uh.
No, my cousin sent me the video of, like, the whole breakdown of all of it, and I was like I was mind blown, like, insane.
Is it like some incest stuff?
No, no, no.
No, no, no.
His wife at the time, I don't remember if they're about to get married or they were recently married, something.
They were
But
recently married.
they're expecting a baby, and the baby came out and had a good tan coming out, so it wasn't his. Come to find out, it was Jason Richardson's, his teammate. Tough beat.
Tough beat.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome to Seeing This, where we have today a bonus episode. We're going back to the features again with a very special movie, one of my favorites. 30 years ago, a Goofy movie was created. Who was your guys' favorite Disney character growing up?
I wasn't a Disney kid.
At all? You didn't watch like the Disney cartoons, nothing?
And I mean, I was more Nickelodeon than anything.
Okay.
But even then, I was more like Ninja Turtles.
Just not Disney.
Yeah, I just wasn't Disney.
Okay. Erica, did you have one?
I don't really know. Not, like, amongst the main characters, like, Goofy, Donald Duck, like, not I didn't really I think it was maybe, like, kinda just past me, like, I know that my brother had really
Past you?
enjoyed.
What do you mean? Like, that was even before our time. Or it just, there was more options by the time you were watching shit.
Yeah, I think there was just more options by the time I was watching stuff.
Well, this wonderful intro for us to debate who the best Disney character is just really blown up. Thanks, guys. All that to say, Goofy was my favorite growing up. Like, I feel like,
I think maybe like somebody from Winnie the Pooh more, cause like,
like
both of my cousins were, like, Winnie the Pooh fanatics, like, one cousin loved Winnie the Pooh, the other one loved Eeyore, and I think everybody else just kinda, like, picked what they like, so I was a
everybody,
Tigger fan.
yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
Everybody loves Eeyore.
yeah.
Okay, well, Goofy movie brought to the big screen my favorite Disney character. I used to love Goofy's cartoons where he'd do like the instructional
Yeah, the
videos.
baseball
Remember
one.
those, right? The
Yeah.
baseball.
Yeah.
And then even in this movie, they deal with fishing. I think you had a fishing specific episode too. But a Goofy movie came out 30 years ago. You might want to know who we are in case this is your first episode. If so, welcome to Seeing This. I'm the movie Mamba Mike Ornelas. You got the Feisty Pisces, Erica McMullen. You have the Gerber baby-faced assassin, Adrian
Hey
Cedeno.
guys.
I think that's the fastest I got it out there. And what we're doing for this one is going over a Goofy movie, which again came out April 7th, 1995. I was 9 years old. Adrian, you were 8, I would imagine.
Yes.
And then Erica, you're 1, right? You're born in 94? Every anniversary
Ouch.
episode, we're just gonna give a dig to ourselves.
Very
Uh,
sorry.
this was directed by Kevin Lima, written by Jim Megan. Sorry if I said the name wrong. Magon. Magon, maybe. Chris Masterson, Brian Pimentel. And then you have the stars of the show, the voice actors, and the legendary Bill Farmer, who was Goofy, Jason Marsden, who was Max, the absolute legend, Jim Cummings. Speaking of Winnie the Pooh, does tons of voices, but he
Yeah.
does Pete here in a Goofy movie. Rob Paulson is PJ. Adrian's boy, Pauly Shore, as Bobby.
Yeah.
You got Kelly Martin as Roxanne, and then lastly, which I didn't realize this was his name, but Wallace Shawn. Did you guys recognize the
I don't
principal's
know
voice?
that
I
I
did.
knew that that was his name. Like,
Inconceivable.
I
Yeah.
recognized his voice immediately, but I don't know that I ever knew that his name was Wallace.
He's also Rex in Toy Story. And I feel like any voice work he does, it's just his voice, but it's fine. I allow it. I allow it.
Do you think he
But yeah,
goes by Wally?
do you think? I don't know.
I have
I
no
haven't seen enough.
idea.
I haven't seen enough interviews with him. And unfortunately, this movie had 0 Oscars. But you know, our last category will resolve that. But just overall, I think we all had seen this movie before. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you remember the first time you watched it? What was that like? Erica, you're saying yes. What was your first time?
100%. I was at my aunt's house, and it was me, my brother, and my cousin, and we were it was like a sleepover, just like a slumber party with my cousins, and we put that on. But, like, I remember the song, like, the songs always stuck with me because they were, like, absolute freaking bangers.
How old were you when you first saw it?
I think I was maybe, like, 7.
7? Okay, yeah, that's a good age. Good age to see
6
it.
or 7, I
Adrian, do
think,
you
yeah, I
remember?
don't remember.
I've seen it so many times, I don't remember the
Yeah.
first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember the first
I
time.
feel like I was late to it, but immediately it resonated with me because this movie is very much a father-son movie, and the complications of that. If you know anyone that has a father in their life that is a son can relate to a lot of these, and then even if you don't, I think you can still relate to kind of what Goof is trying to do in this movie. I got a hot take coming later about all that, but we'll save it. But let's just jump into our categories to get this ball rolling. The Will Smith at the Oscars, does this still slap? Adrian, I'll go to
Yes, it
you.
does.
Erica says yes immediately.
Yeah, I think it still slaps. I would say if I was watching it with my kids, I think they would take something a little different than how I saw it when I was younger. Because obviously they had me, and now that they're a little older, it's interesting. Like I kept thinking, like, I wonder how they would take this scene.
I
You know,
I
how
try, I messed up. I tried to hit up your son Anthony to see if he could join us because I think that this is a good one for to kind of relate. We can have a psychotherapy between the two of you and see how this movie hit. But yeah, I think it still slaps. I think there's a category, the Whitaker no fly zone coming up. There's nothing very inappropriate. It's still funny for the type of slapstick humor
It's
that
corny.
it's
Like,
corny.
it's corny, and
it
that's
has
what
to be. It's goofy.
I
Yeah.
know, and that's what I love about the movie is just, like, how unbelievably corny it is, but then us to be able to appreciate that it is corny, like, later on, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean but like Andrew said, it has to be because it's goofy, and I feel like this movie very much captures what Goofy represents to the whole
Yeah.
cast of Disney characters, right? Okay, so yeah, we agree. It still slaps. The Gladiator 2 unnecessary sequel. What happens in the sequel? We got a sequel. Have you
Mhm.
guys seen an extremely goofy movie?
I
I
feel like I
think I've
have, but I don't remember the
seen
plot.
it yeah, I think I've seen it, like, once or twice, but don't remember the plot. The first one's so good, because
Yeah,
it's like one of those anytime you think about the movie, you automatically think about scenes from the first one.
I feel like in the second one, like Goof gets on rollerblades or something, and he's doing like a whole half pipe kind of like scenario.
Mm.
and it's
Yes,
also like
actually, it's
a
a skate competition.
right,
It
right.
is, you're actually 100% right, it's a skate
I
competition.
remember liking that movie as well.
Yeah,
I
I
feel
think
like
I ended up
that was
to.
good. I guess we should take a quick step back for anyone that hasn't seen a Goofy movie and just joining us to support us. One, we love that. Two, hopefully we do a good job to inspire you to go watch it. But let me give you the letterboxd description just so that we have some context of what we're talking about as we go along. A Goofy movie, as I mentioned, came out in 1995, directed by Kevin Lima. It's hard to be cool when your dad is goofy. An endearing modern day story about how the lovable Goof bonds with his teenage son Max on a hilarious cross country road trip. En route to the old fishing hole, they find themselves their floppy they find themselves up to their floppy ears in misadventure. So yeah, just wanted to get that out there in case, this 30-year-old movie folks
I
haven't
mean,
watched.
their actual road trip that they end up, like, maneuvering to be, like, good for both of them kinda thing, where they're actually doing, like, fun things and, like, stopping and doing stuff, like, that in itself, like, was amazing, you know what I mean? Like, the
Mhm.
actual, like, road trip part where they're, like, getting along and doing things that they want to do with each other, like ended up being like really wholesome.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and it really lands the plane as far as taking Max's motivations, Goof's motivations, the inspiration from Pete on how to parent. You know, this movie is very much a old school parenting versus, I mean, dare I say, Goofy introduced soft parenting 30 years ago, you know, like,
I mean, I don't know if I would have said soft parenting.
well, I mean, as compared to Pete, where Pete's like, you got to be disciplined, you got to have him under your thumb,
He
you know what I mean?
respects me, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Adrian, you're more what kind? Are you more a Pete or a Goof when it comes to parenting?
I think I got a good blend because I have to be the enforcer. You know what I mean? But we're definitely progressive type parents. Like,
It's just goofy anyway, so
yeah, yeah.
it just bugs.
I'm a big kid.
So Gladiator, a necessary sequel. We got the sequel. The Whitaker from Flight, No Fly Zone. What hasn't aged well? I don't know if you guys caught anything. I caught one thing,
Yeah, I
but
caught the same thing. I
But
think.
think
yeah,
so.
maybe the same stuff. I don't
Erica,
know.
if we're thinking the same thing, you tell us.
um, the very begin. It's like the very beginning of the song or
So far, so
whatever.
good, or maybe.
Like the guys that are leaning over the girls and tell them to put their textbooks away, like they don't need that moving forward. And so
Sure.
it's like,
Okay.
um,
Okay. Adrian,
okay.
yours? What about yours?
I noticed when they're on a road trip,
Oh, we
uh,
have different ones.
one of the places that they go to, like when they're having good time and having fun, they're like in a cave taking pictures with the bats. Um, the actual name of the cave is Carl's Butt Cavern.
Okay. That
So,
doesn't age well?
I mean, I just thought it was funny that it's in a kid's movie. It made me chuckle.
Sure,
Like as
sure.
soon as I saw it, I was like, "Wait, did I see that right?"
Butt
Like,
cavern.
yeah,
Yeah. Have you guys been to Carlsbad Caverns? Are you familiar? You're familiar, like where
It's
they
been
got
a
that from?
while,
yes,
but yes, I've been.
but
Yeah.
not Carl's Butt
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Cavern.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
That's a little bit of a different kind of joke, you know. You wouldn't. I mean, I would expect it from a Disney movie, but you know
Oh,
what I mean, like not a kids
There's
movie.
always got to be some kind
There's
of
always some
innuendo in
like
there.
inappropriate thing in there. Yeah.
yeah. That's not too bad. I don't think that's bad. What I saw was so Goofy and Pete work as like photographers, like at like a mall kind of thing.
Yeah.
And there's a part where Pete is taking a picture and then Goofy is like running off or something. And the little girl he's taking a picture of chases Goofy, and you just see this cartoon butt, like her skirt
Yeah.
and is running, and you just see her butt going in the distance. Like, ooh, that kind of
I know. Well, that's because
was not
Pete's dumbass freaking glued her diaper to the thing
Right.
because she wouldn't stop
Right.
moving.
And she
sure,
wasn't gonna sit
sure.
there, and she got up and wanted to go be with
Yeah.
Goofy. Yeah.
It's so kind of icky for a kids movie.
No,
Okay,
I thought it was more of like there was like some maybe like gender things in there that I was like,
like as far
we
as what it means to be like
like just
masculine,
like
or
traditional roles for a man and a woman kind of thing. I don't know. It was kind of stupid.
fair enough,
In
fair
that,
enough.
it was only really in that first song though. Like there was like certain parts of it where I was like,
I don't know. Goofy has to be like both dad and mom, so I think there's a couple scenes where he's wearing like his hair like a towel,
no,
like
His
I
like his ear,
absolutely
his
yeah,
love
ears.
that. I
yeah, yeah,
love that
yeah.
he came in and he
He's like
was
wearing
like,
his
"Oh my
like
dad."
towel, you know, like up and around like a tube top.
So weird to think that their skin is like their fur, their skin is black. Like I constantly forget that. So like if you realize that, like they're shirtless, he's naked under the
I mean,
towel,
come on, let's not
but
get into
like he sleeps
semantics
with
here,
gloves
because
on. Like the gloves part, like cracked me up. Like he sleeps with
is he a
gloves on.
dog?
He's like an anamorphic dog human, technically, but yeah. But that's why like he can talk and Pluto can't, because Pluto's a dog. Goofy's
Yeah,
yeah,
isn't that kind of weird?
yeah.
But Mickey's a mouse that can talk, and
So he's not a mouse. Like I guess Jerry would be a mouse. He doesn't talk, right? Tom and Jerry,
yeah,
different
he
animation.
talks.
Anyways, but to that scene, like that's in the first couple minutes where Goofy just like opens the door and Max is like changing. He's like, "Dad," he's like,
Yeah,
"Oh, I forgot." Closes the
yeah.
door, knocks, and then just walks right back in.
Yeah.
Like that shit's had me
That's me.
cracking up.
That's
Yeah,
me,
yeah,
by the
yeah.
way. Like my kids would always hate it because I wouldn't knock. I would just walk right in. Or when they would started getting older and they started complaining about it, make sure you knock. So I would knock as I'm
And then
walking
just
right in.
walk
Like,
in.
I'm
So
not
hard.
waiting for a hello. Like,
Yeah. Hopefully you didn't catch them doing anything they shouldn't be doing.
nah.
The M. Night Shyamalan twist ending. Is there a twist we could have had here? Ultimately, Max is trying to get to LA to see Powerline because he told Roxanne, the girl crush that he has, that his dad knows them and he's going to be
The
on
plot
stage
twist would have been that they didn't want them on stage. Like, they kick him off.
all the way.
They
Kinda
get
like
They
a
make it
arrested.
all the way on stage, and then security actually grabs him.
It's like a Wally's World from Vacation, where they get there and it's like closed
It's
down. There's no
closed.
concert. Yeah, I kind of like that. And they got a bond over that. All that for nothing. I like that. Good job. We'll give it there. So this is an animated movie. So let's pretend these items are real. We're not there yet. Sorry. No Country for Cold Takes. Hot takes. Do you guys have any hot takes about this movie? I have a couple, but I want to hear what you guys have, if you have any.
I don't know if it's a hot take, but why were both Goofy, like, why did neither of them have wives?
Or
Or like Goofy, maybe, like Disney has a known thing
Like,
for
isn't it the
offering the
cow?
mom. Huh?
I think Pete is a cow, isn't he? Or is he's a dog too? Or
No,
animal
they're
for
all
dog?
dogs.
They're all, yeah. I
Okay,
think
so isn't Abigail the cow? Isn't
that's a
that?
different character though. Yeah, that's
But
a
that's
cow.
supposed to be Goofy's like squeeze, right?
That's a side chick. I don't think that's mom. To answer your question, these hoes ain't loyal. That's what's
You don't know
Well,
that?
well,
You don't
no,
know that?
like Disney's very classic of like, let's kill off the mom like all the time. So it would make sense like for Goofy not to have a wife because she maybe like died, because that's what Disney
She ran
does.
off.
But
She ran
like,
off. They don't talk about it. If she would have died, it would
Right.
have been a part of the story. She ran off.
I definitely felt like it was a runoff. Like
she's a
she went for
stray. She was a
cigarettes
stray
and never came
dog.
back. Yeah.
Yeah. She jumped in the car, took off, and left it all up to Goof. Man, what a guy.
Who else
She got
got
taken
her?
to the pound.
I was gonna say.
maybe. So one hot take I have, I think it's a hot take, but I would say this is better than any 21st century musical. So any musical that's come out in the past 25 years, this is better. That's my hot take.
That's
Very
very
hot
hot.
indeed.
Very hot. You are
Very hot.
tripping.
You said the last one was lukewarm, so I had to come in flaming.
Like
Yeah,
Satan's
yeah.
butthole kind of hot.
Yeah.
Okay, what are you gonna say? Like La La Land? I'll give you. That's
I
a
mean,
close
my son was
one.
in the Heights at a play here, and I thought that one was pretty dope.
But I'm talking music. I'm talking like a movie.
It's a
not,
musical. It was a movie.
I know, but not just because your son was in it.
Well, yeah, but it's still a good one. Like, I still say it's better than a Goofy movie.
Okay, well, that's why it's a hot take. That's why it's a hot take. You guys don't have any other hot takes?
I don't.
No.
Not after. No, I can't follow that.
Well, no, that's gonna be the hot take. I mean, we don't agree with it, but that'll
Right.
be the hot take.
Right.
Okay, I'll stick to it. I'd watch this over, In the Heights. Okay, so coming up next is what I was talking about, the Winona Ryder I'm Stealing This, best prop to own or costume or whatever. So assuming these are things that we could own, unless I
How
guess you
about
could.
we do if like one thing we could try would be like to eat the cheesiest freaking pizza that they got going on in that
Sure.
movie.
Not do that can of cheese.
I
Terrible.
You're
would
talking about the pizza, not the
sacrifice
whiz.
my stomach and intestines to try that cheesy pizza. I really would.
I like me a good, like, animated pizza is the best looking, like the Ninja Turtle pizza, like that looks like how pizza should taste. I don't know how to describe that, but
They're all in the beginning scene, like
just
folding it and
extra cheesy.
grease dripping.
Yeah, proper. I would go with, it's got to be Powerline's like outfit or even Max's outfit.
I was gonna say
Powerline,
Powerline's
You got the
glasses.
glasses.
Yeah.
The
You got the
glasses were
outfit.
dope,
Yeah,
yeah.
I would want his glasses for sure.
Adrian,
MC
one,
Hammer.
yeah, I think one you would want to keep is that fishing pole, man. It brought in Bigfoot.
Dude. But
No
no
lines-
steak on it.
No line
I just want
snapping
the
on that
steak.
one.
I just want the steak.
Yeah, you could keep the steak. You have the steak and the pizza.
You keep the steak and then just pass the evidence of Bigfoot to me, and then I can keep that.
Yeah, don't let him destroy the footage. Okay, so moving on, the Castaway recasting. And what I'm going to say here is this is a great evidence that animated movies had animated voice actors And this is why, because they are those characters. You don't hear Chris Hemsworth, you don't hear Chris Evans, you don't hear Jack Black. Like, listen, everyone needs work, but by these big actors taking on voice work now, there's a whole demographic of actors
I
losing
know
work,
that
and
you
this
say
shouldn't be
that, but the
recast.
only
Jack
thing I
Black is
have
pretty good in
Yeah, I was gonna say the only person you
Kung
maybe
Fu
can't
Panda,
say this
man.
about is Jack Black as Poe.
Dustin Hoffman as Master Sifu is pretty
I would
is
say
pretty good,
maybe
man.
Kung Fu
That should have been
Panda
your
is
hot take,
the
maybe.
exception to
I
that,
don't think it's a
but
hot take.
yes, I do agree with you that we don't really have, like, solid voice actors like that. Like you said, like, when you watch if I don't know if people watched Lightyear, I had to babysit kids all the time, so, like, they loved watching that movie. But like you said, all you hear is Chris Evans, like, you don't
Sure.
hear who you think Buzz Lightyear should sound like, and like I said, I'm gonna exclude Kung Fu Panda from that because those people, like, they are their characters. Like, they each are very tailored to each one of those
I
people.
think the right project with the right people, sure. But now
Yeah.
people just go directly to like A-list celebrity, right? Like Shrek,
I don't know, man.
right? Shrek's great. You've got Mike Myers, you got
I
Eddie
feel
Murphy.
like
Like,
that's just, like, another one that we maybe need to exclude from this list.
I think
well, but that's
you're
my
thinking
point.
of
Is
like big movies, but in reality, a lot of unknowns have regular jobs doing voice work
of
all
course,
over as regular cartoon characters, you know, that are
yeah,
in
yeah,
TV
yeah.
shows, PBS. Like, there's still a lot of cartoons that are unique characters and unique voices. Like,
Yeah, like the gal who does like Bubbles and Timmy Turner and like all of those different characters. Like she's just got a range. But
Mhm.
like you said, like she's a voice actor. Like that's her job is being a voice actor.
you know,
So
I
I
met
see
the
where
guy
you
that does the man in the yellow hat for
For
Curious
Curious
George.
George,
Mhm.
nice.
Pretty cool, down to earth dude. Introduced me to some of his friends that were also voice actors that do like a bunch of characters from The Simpsons. Saw my
Right.
tattoo, you know, of Homer Simpson, and immediately called her up. I got voicemails from the man in the yellow hat
That's so
and
cool.
from like 4 or 5 characters from The
In
Simpsons
their
talking to me
voices, like
in
they
their
said the
voices
voicemail in their voices.
as
Okay,
their
that's cool.
characters. Hmm.
That's
So
super
when are we
fun.
having the interview? Our first interview for seeing this, huh?
Let me know. I'll give him a call.
There we
He's
go.
a cool dude, man. I'm telling
Well,
you.
I think we're all on the same page in saying that we don't need to recast anyone in this movie.
Nah,
Yeah.
not at
This
all.
is not
Not at
a
I
all.
yeah.
think everyone's voice is good. I think everyone is
I
great.
think if anything, if we wanted to have something like for this category, like we could maybe like add a character,
Well, we
but
have that in another category.
yeah.
Coming up here, coming up here. Okay, well, with that being said, we'll go to our last category. This last category is the Arnold Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito, and twins double feature recommendations. What's a movie you would pair with a Goofy movie?
Lion King.
Lion King. Why so?
The whole father-son complex.
I mean, we almost had a Mufasa moment there with the waterfall.
Mhm,
Like, if
mhm.
they would have let Goof go, that would have been
I mean, if you
devastating.
didn't have the, you know, ultimate wind up and cast.
The perfect cast.
Yeah, the perfect
Yeah, yeah.
cast, yeah.
Okay, Erica.
I'm gonna go in like a different direction. Instead of father son, I'm gonna go father daughter, and I'm gonna recommend Moana.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. That's a good one.
You know,
What a bit of
I just saw some like conspiracy thing about like Moana is actually the daughter of Maui.
Mm.
It was some weird stuff. Yeah,
And
like
who's her dad?
she's a demigod.
Uh,
Maui would be the dad.
but I mean, who's the guy, the chief, or her dad, who she
yeah.
thinks her dad is?
So if you're of the Christian belief, then that would be Joseph, right? Like,
Hmm.
Okay, well, that's enough Christian talk.
right.
Uh,
Right.
so yeah, I think obviously you go with the Disney movie. You could do Finding Nemo, because you've got like Marlin and Nemo, the father son trying to
Another
connect.
father son.
But if you want to go live action, I'm gonna go with Erica's favorite Indiana Jones movie and The Last Crusade, where you have Sean Connery as dad.
Solid.
Don't call me Junior. You know what I mean? Call me.
Yeah.
It's a similar kind of father son fun adventure. So I'd go there. Time for some awards. Let's give some awards out here. I'm curious if you guys have any for this one. The Julia Roberts and Pretty Woman, you made a mistake, huge award. So our biggest nitpick of the movie. Again, a comedy, animated, it's tough. But I found a couple.
Why don't you start us off then, Mike?
Okay.
Yeah, Michael, you start us off with that one.
So, like we said, they go fishing for a bit. They catch Bigfoot. Bigfoot is terrorizing everything. Pete packs up his super ultra RV, takes off, and Goofy and Max have to hide in the car. And of course, the keys Bigfoot has. And Bigfoot just tosses the keys. After the next day, they just end up at a diner. How'd he get his keys? Where did Bigfoot go? He kind of just disappears, and now they're at a
Fair.
diner. So,
That's
we,
fair.
we want to have a nitpick. I think that would be one.
That's a good one.
That's a
You
good
guys
one.
have any other ones?
Besides Carl's butt cavern?
Sure, sure. And I just one thing I meant to say with our recasting is Goofy even says a perfect cast, and I have that. I was like, that's exactly what it is for this movie. Okay, so we'll give that the nitpick
Go
then.
to that. Yeah,
How did
that does
Goofy get
seem
his
a little
keys?
lame.
Congratulations. The John Leguizamo, this movie needs a Latin award, a Latin actor to add to this movie.
And it's so crazy that you say like it's the John Leguizamo because I could like him as Sid the Sloth like would just be like absolutely hilarious if there was like a lispy dog in this movie.
Well, he'd be a sloth. You're saying his voice as
Yeah,
Sid.
like
Yeah.
the Sid the Sloth,
Yeah.
that kind of
You have a
voice.
nominee, Adrian?
I don't. I like the movie the way it was. I don't have. I don't think it needed any other flavor because it feels non-racial. You know what I mean?
What if
Sure.
Roxanne's dad ended up being
John
like
Leguizamo?
had a voice
Oh,
of
Chihuahua.
a Latin actor?
What's his name? Omos or something?
Oh yeah, Edward James Olmos. That would be good.
I was thinking if maybe in the plot of it all, in the lore canon, Goofy adopted the Chihuahua from Lady and the Tramp, who's voiced by Cheech Marin, and
Oh,
just to
that
have
could be funny. Yeah.
Cheech like on this road trip with them, kind of like a donkey character, like comic relief as they
Yeah.
go along this road. All
Like
right, so
he's done a cross country trip before and he's gonna
yeah,
help them navigate kind
yeah.
of thing.
I
And
feel
well,
like
it
a
worked
Paul
out
Rodriguez has his, like a unique voice that everybody would recognize too, similar to
as
just like
well.
Cheech. Yeah.
Well, this is the award where all the Latins can be added, so everybody qualifies. The Samwise Gamgee Most Underrated Character Award. This is one I didn't really think about too much, if I'm being honest.
'Cause I think everybody really plays their roles fairly well. You know what I mean? Like they're.
I think
I guess maybe we don't get a lot of Roxanne.
we don't. She is
You know?
underutilized. I
Yeah.
think so. One thing that this movie opens on Roxanne on a pedestal, right? Max is having a nightmare and he's going through the cornfield, and there's Roxanne just on a pedestal, which is great, symbolism for kind of what Max is doing in his head and the fear
Yeah.
that he has that he's turning into his dad, which let me tell you, that's relatable. Like I think we can all relate to some level of fear of turning into our parents. And as we get older, we see certain signs, like let's say for Max, a goofy laugh, like it just comes
Yeah.
out when he can't
That
help
was
it.
so good, Michael.
I'm telling you, Goofy was my favorite.
Actually, hella good.
That's my favorite character. But yeah, I think being able to relate to that and that he has this nightmare and it's turning into a laugh, like right off the bat, like grabs your attention. Like, okay, here's the stakes of the movie and why
Yeah.
Max has all the motivation that he has and the decisions he makes, right? So underrated, we could go with Roxanne because we don't get a lot from her.
Yeah.
I think what we do get, we're giving her the benefit of the doubt that she actually is like a good character. If she were to end up with Max, like she'd be a good partner. She doesn't seem superficial, though she is excited for him to go to the show.
Yeah.
She's like into him though.
She is into him. She is
Or
into him.
his laugh.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah.
The thing he's most conscious about is why she's into him. So we'll give it a Roxanne. We would have been nice to get some more of her. The only other person I thought of was maybe PJ, because we don't get a lot of him either. Max's
That's what
best
I
friend.
thought.
Yeah, but his the dialogue that he has with Max is really nice because he's
Yeah,
just like such a good friend,
I
and you
think
like know that he's just such a good friend.
I think we just want more from like the relationship of him and Pete.
Matt, him and his dad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure. We
You know
don't.
what I
Yeah,
mean?
we don't get a lot of that either. Yeah.
He's
But
spoiled, you know he is. Like, you know, that's the thing about it is like I know we don't get a lot, but you kind of like get that underlying like, oh yeah, Pete respects me, blah blah blah. But in reality, like he's a
that's
giant
fair.
pushover and he
He
really
is
loves
soft
his
over.
kid like with all his heart kind of thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Maybe. Well, that's a
That's
hot
the
take.
vibes I get, you
That's your
know.
that's your hot take. That
That's
Pete
my
is
hot
actually a
take.
big softie with PJ.
Pete's a big softie.
So underrated character will go Roxanne, the daughter in Hereditary. Oh shit moment award. Was it?
Honestly, when he's falling, you're like, "Oh shit,
Yeah.
he's not about to die, right?" Right? They wouldn't do that.
I was thinking, I don't know when Bigfoot shows up, I get maybe, but like honestly, I don't remember how this movie goes. Does he die? Like when the waterfall?
That's
Obviously, he
also
doesn't
another
die, but
good
like,
"oh shit" moment. They'll be like, "Oh shit, yeah, that's right, Bigfoot's in this movie."
yeah,
Like,
yeah. Do you have anything?
No, yeah, my oh shit moment was when he's like telling her he can't show up, he can't be there, and he starts to lie. I was like, oh shit, like
don't lie.
Buster, like don't say it.
Or when he changes the map, right? Like the map
Falls out of
again.
the thing twice. They just magically opens the glove compartment. Yeah.
This movie is beyond relatable. Like Goofy snoring so loud where Max can't sleep would be like me at a kid at my dad's house, and like I'd be in the living room, he's way back in his room, and you just hear a bear snoring. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, this fits. But yeah, the map comes out, Goof's asleep, and he changes it to go to LA, and it's like, ah shit, like still making bad decisions. You thought they
Mhm.
connected at some point. I think the waterfall. I think the waterfall is good. Because
Yeah,
I
because
totally forgot about
he has
that.
to use the perfect cast,
And he does the
which means
perfect
he's
cast.
listening, to his dad.
Sometimes you don't think they're listening, but they are
No,
listening.
you know they're not. It's
Hey, riddle me this. As I was,
subtle absorbing of stuff.
I was curious about an example you might have that you can share when Goofy finds out that Max changed the map, right? And Max is like lying to his face, and Goofy knows it. Do you have an example of when one of the boys like you knew they were lying and it happened? Can you share anything, or are we getting them in trouble? Or they're great kids? They don't lie.
Yeah, Adrian, I think we've caught in lies before. I can't remember specifically like one that's appropriate for camera time,
Sure, sure.
but nah. Oh, you know what? There is one. There is one. Okay. My sister comes over, and it wasn't just like Adrian, it was all the kids.
Sure.
So it was my niece and nephew were here.
His cousins, yeah.
Right. So 4 kids, right? 3 boys and a girl. And the parents are hanging out, drinking, doing their thing outside, and there was my birthday cake. That's what it was. My birthday was right around, and I
It's
always
right.
have.
Happy anniversary. It's coming up.
Man, oh man, this is a story. So I always have like a cake for everybody sing happy birthday. We cut it up, share, and then I always have like my own cake that I'm gonna take a spoon to the whole thing. I'm not gonna put it on a plate, no matter how many times my wife tells me to. I'm just gonna eat out of it because this is my cake. And so we go through the night, and all of a sudden I come inside, and the kids are all supposed to be asleep. We tuck them all in,
What time is
and
this at?
probably like midnight.
Okay.
Okay, they're all supposed to be in bed asleep, and we come back in, and the cake is devoured, all of it gone. And of course, they think, "Oh, we're gonna go to bed and get away with it." Hell no! I
Wake
go
up
to the
right
room, and
now.
I'm like, "I know you guys aren't asleep. Get your butts out here, all 4 of them. All the adults are there, and we're like, who ate it? Did all you guys eat it? Who touched this cake?" And they're all like trying to keep a straight face. They were all trying to look at us and be like, nobody ate it. We don't know. You guys ate it before you guys went out there. They were trying to convince us that we had eaten it before.
How old is he at this point?
I want to say my kids were probably like 5, 7,
Oh, okay.
and then my niece and nephew were probably like 8
Okay.
and 12, laughing it off. Yeah.
Sure. Sure. That's a very PG version. We'll
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
off camera for the
yeah.
rated
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I always wonder, like, how do you react when you know you're a kid? I guess with Goofy, it was more of like, I know you're lying and I'm disappointed. This is more
Yeah.
like you're a dumbass kid, like,
Yeah, yeah.
so
Like, to be honest, we were trying not to laugh ourselves. Like,
sure, right. Okay, so that was the oh shit moment. We're going with the waterfall. The Rocky Balboa gut punch award, the most emotional scene. Erica, what do you have?
Hey, that you always refer to me for this one. The most emotional scene, I honestly, when they're like in the car sitting next to each other and like the high dad soup,
That was cute.
I thought that was very gentle and very cute. Not that
That's
it was like I'm gonna bawl my eyes out about this, but it was very sweet.
and yeah. Can I tell you something? Right after that scene, I text my dad, "Hi, Dad."
No.
Good God. So Adrian, do you have one?
yeah, when Max breaks down and like yells at Goof and tells him like, "I don't want to be like you, stay out of my life," kind of thing. That one was rough.
He says, "I've got my own life now,"
I,
and Goofy says, "I know.
I just
I
want to be
just
a
want to
part
be
of
a
it.
part of
Yeah.
it."
Yeah.
You know what? I lied. We're
That's
gonna
the
change it
one.
to that one.
Yeah,
That
that's
one
like,
got me too.
damn. Because you like again to the ability of the voice actors, like you hear the devastation in Goof of like, I just want to be a part of it.
Well,
Yeah.
because he's supposed to be angry, right? And then
Yeah,
it's like that comes out, and he goes instantly from angry to like, wait a minute, like I just want to
Fuck,
be
I
your
hurt my
dad.
dad's
Like,
feelings.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It hit him, and that's that. Honestly, I think that's the climax of the movie. Because after that, it's like, all right, Max tells him like, hey, there's this girl. I'm trying to impress her, and Goof's,
like,
I mean,
oh, dummy, why didn't you tell me before? I would have got
yeah,
that.
Like
yeah.
the coolest dad ever.
Yeah,
Goofy was probably
Goof
going
was
on
a little
dates.
like a G,
I
capital
think,
G for Goofy for sure.
right, Erica? Women love a man with a sense of humor, and Goof was that, right? Or no?
they all want a guy to make them laugh.
Okay, never mind. You're Team Aladdin. Got it.
Oh no, no.
No, did you have a Disney crush? Like,
I was well, I didn't know where you were going with Team Aladdin. Like, isn't she like appointed who she has to marry? I thought that's where you were going with this.
oh
Like,
No,
no,
I
no,
think I
no.
was like my first not like even like Disney crush, but my first like crush was Benny the Jet Rodriguez from the
Sure,
Sandlot.
sure. I think it was a lot of people's,
Yeah.
to say the least.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
But
Gut
even he
punch.
was a nice kid. Like
It was.
he included everybody,
You don't like the
made
bat?
everybody
I
around him
mean,
better.
he did tell him to throw that hat away.
But
Sure.
it was trash.
He was looking out for him. He was
That
looking
big
out.
old bill.
Yeah. July, I think, is the anniversary for that one, so we'll
No
keep that
way,
in. I think
crazy.
so. Okay, the Coleman Domingo Best Dressed Award. I mean, it's Powerline.
Yeah, Powerline for sure.
Powerline. I mean, it's if you're on the talk, you're on the gram, like people are reenacting the dance, all done up. I mean, Powerline. I don't is it Max? That's a character at Disneyland as Powerline, right?
Yeah, I
It's not
think
like
so.
right. Yeah, I mean,
Well, he does Powerline in his like school performance thing.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's I
exactly.
think who it is. Yeah,
You're right. Okay, so we'll go Powerline or Max's Powerline for
Yeah.
Max's
best dress.
Powerline. Because Powerline, they just took like MC Hammer and
It
said,
was pretty quick. It was
make
pretty
him look
quick.
like that.
I like when they get to the stage, sneak into instrument boxes very easily, and immediately the show's starting. That's another nitpick. It's like, why are they loading in instruments if the show has already started? But again, it's fine.
It's for the plot, Michael. It's for the
Yeah.
plot.
I'll allow it. New director, who dis? So this one's kind of tough, maybe for an animated movie. But is there, if you were to see a different director instead of Kevin Lima, who did great? Is there anyone that comes to mind?
No.
No.
Like I said, he did such a good job. It is a good movie. I don't think of anybody who could have recast it. I don't think of anybody who could have redone it differently, different artists or anything like that. Like it was good the way it was.
I agree. The same with recasting. Like I think this movie is. I gave it a 4.5 on Letterboxd. It's like it's missing one little thing to make it like a masterpiece. I couldn't
All
tell
of
you
your
what it is.
nitpicks if they were gone.
I mean, I guess, but even then, like, I don't hold them to the same level of like a live action prestige movie. But I think with this one, it's good as it is, as directed. One other thing I was thinking as I'm thinking of like different directors, I feel like this movie is the best animated film dealing with family dynamics or parenting. That a hot take, or you agree?
I
Disagree?
mean, there's a lot. I see a lot of kids movies. There's a lot of like Moana has parenting, Encanto has a lot of like
Mm.
parenting and like
But
How
does
to
this
Train Your
do it?
Dragon. If you want to go DreamWorks, How to Train Your
right.
Dragon was
Even Kung
father
Fu
son.
Panda.
And those deal with that topic better.
I
I'm
mean, Kung Fu
I'm not.
Panda deals
How to
with
Train Your
that
Dragon,
topic.
I'd
How to
say
Train Your
yeah.
Dragon, like
How do you feel about the live action movie out? Unnecessary?
I don't like any of them.
Really? A lot of people like them.
Unnecessary.
Yeah.
Unnecessary.
Like
Yeah.
I don't like the Mulan one. I haven't liked any of
Oh, you
them.
like the live action
I think
redone?
the only one
You
I've
don't need
liked was
live
Dumbo.
action.
I think the only live action movie like I've liked from Disney was Dumbo.
I didn't see that one. I love Dumbo the animated, but I never. That's
I,
with Danny DeVito and
yeah.
someone else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Last award, and the Oscar goes to one Oscar. Who are you giving it to?
Like best original song. Like that would have been like so
There's two good
good.
songs, right? He
There's
has two good songs.
good songs.
I like any of
Uh,
the music in it, to be honest.
really? Wow.
I didn't like the
Look at
music in it.
wow. That's a hot take.
Really?
Take.
Yeah, I'm saying the best musical, and you're like on the extreme opposite end.
I
Like,
just didn't
don't
like
like.
it, and I'm saying it's bad. I just didn't. It wasn't
I felt
mine.
like it. Excuse me. I felt like it captured the '90s very well. Yeah, like you said, the MC Hammer of it all,
That
and
song could come on the radio and I'd be like, oh my, turn that shit up. I'd be so excited for that.
you've got it on your jams playlist.
Oh
Yeah,
God.
I think original score. Another argument maybe it's just like original script, like the writing and to make it
Yeah.
funny, to make it for kids, to make it fun for adults, to have a good lesson. 2 Oscars. We'll give it 2 Oscars. Some of the things I wanted to touch on with this movie that I saw that I thought was that I felt like was really important to touch on. One is some of the quotes. Is this a potent quotable? Reference to our 6 Degree award. Is this a potent quotable movie?
Yes.
Some of them, like anything, like cheddar. Like
Yeah.
Cheddar.
I've
I
said
need
that
the
before. Like
cheddar.
I'll be like shredding cheddar cheese. I'd be like cheddar.
Yeah.
Like I'll just like come out with it like out of the random.
I'll say Leaning Tower of Chisa, and
Yeah,
nobody
Leaning
knows what I'm
Tower of
talking about.
That's
Pizza.
probably the one that like stuck around the longest. Like Pauly Shore doing the
Yeah.
Leaning Tower of Pisa. Like that was a hit at
Pauly
the
Shore
time.
just in general, like
But he's
like
only
you
in
just
it for
kind of
like the beginning.
give them like a
quick.
little bit of this at the end of whatever you're saying.
Yeah.
There's Pauly Shore for you.
And then the random kid when Stacy's up there, yo, Stacy, talk to me, baby.
Yeah.
And when Max is performing, again, Pauly Shore's character, what's he say? A little smoky.
Yeah.
Like that's a
Yeah,
joke
add
for
a little
adults, so
smoke.
smoky. Let's see.
I'll have to say that for our 420 episode.
Yeah. Goofy tells Max his music sounds your music sounds like monkeys in a zoo. I thought that's like what all us, or at least I say about new music. Like this doesn't sound any good. And then some wise words again from Goof when he goes to confess that he was lying to Roxanne. Max does, and Max says she'll never talk to me again. And Goofy says, well, if she doesn't, then maybe she's not the one for you. Bars, you know? And then Max even says, well, that's what I'm afraid of, as you would as a kid, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you want what you think you want, but might not be for you. You can't always get what you want, as Mick Jagger said.
But you get what you need.
If you try sometimes, you might just find.
I can hate both of you so much.
just to wrap up, I really enjoyed a Goofy movie. I think
And even like when it came out too, like knowing that this movie came out in 95, like around that time of like wholesome dad movies or like wholesome, like just wholesome male characters, which was like, if we looked at like 80s movies, there was a lot of scandalous male character leads and stuff. So it's always like really nice, even if it is animated, like we said, to have like a wholesome dad. Like he's really just trying to get to know his kid, and then
Yeah.
they're able to find common ground. So like,
Yeah, I feel like the 90s was the complete opposite of that. Like most of them were like the dad wasn't around, or it was like a broken relationship they're trying to fix, like
It's
mend it.
very rare to have a missing mother figure. I mean,
Right,
outside of
right,
like a
right.
Bambi, maybe, and even
okay,
then,
first
like
of all, do we want to go through all of the Disney movies that are missing a fucking mom?
and being raised by a father.
Yes.
Okay, what do you got?
Finding Nemo.
She died. Okay, fair.
She dies.
Okay.
Bambi. She dies.
Uh,
Ariel.
but it's
The Little
But she's
Mermaid.
not
She's
raised by
dead.
her dad.
but yeah.
Aladdin.
Hold on.
Mom's missing.
Okay.
Like, come on now. Let's be realistic. This is not something new. Moms
Hold
are
on.
always missing in Disney movies.
What I'm
Aladdin is
getting,
different.
what
Aladdin is
I,
different. You can't have
what
Aladdin.
what I'm trying to say is that a father raising a son without a mother, and like Bambi, for example, we don't. Bambi's kind of
Correct.
on her own or his own. So
Is
I
it
guess
his?
yeah, Bambi's that the wimpy deer. It's a boy.
I don't know. Deer's male or female, right?
He ends up with the antlers. Remember?
Yeah.
He
I
gets into
don't.
this.
I've never seen it, to be honest. I see the
You've
beginning.
never seen Bambi? Yeah.
Nope. I've seen the beginning. The mom dies, and that was enough for me to be like, nah. Like I grew up without a dad, so mom dying is not on my list of things I need to watch.
Sure. You don't like the feel? You gotta feel. You gotta confront that, you
I
know?
definitely don't like the feeling at all.
Fair enough. A Goofy movie. Oh, anything else you guys want to touch on a Goofy movie?
I just need you to acknowledge that for the majority of Disney movies, the moms are gone.
Not the majority, but I agree there are.
Cinderella,
Okay.
Beauty and the Beast.
I'm not okay. Yes,
Cinderella, she's not even raised by her dad.
that's my point. I'm trying to say that there's not a lot of dad raising a child on their own.
I
Is
get
what I meant
that,
to say. You're
but
right. You're right.
moms are
Yes.
missing.
Walt Disney didn't like mothers. Got it.
No, it's
I think
because
that was the
Walt Disney's
tragedy.
mom died when he
Yes.
was young, and
That's
so he
supposed to be the
always
tragedy.
he always wrote the characters out, and they kept that.
Nothing more tragic
Keep
than
asking.
somebody's mom dying early.
Keep asking questions, and we'll crack the nugget and we'll figure out and find the gold. One thing I wanted to say about our last bonus episode, which is only going to be relevant to you guys and our faithful listeners that listen to every episode. Thank you, appreciate it. But I meant you guys didn't remind me.
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey when
First
we.
of all, I'm not the one to ask you to be asked to remind you of things. I forget things constantly.
After you're reminded. So when we were talking about we were drafting, right, for 1987. And the reason I brought up Jim Carrey is because I did watch a movie for the first time that none of us drafted. We didn't even mention it. But Evil Dead 2. Have you guys seen any of these?
I was close to drafting it
seen 'em.
too. I have seen Evil Dead 2, yes.
So Adrian, it's a very B movie. It's a horror, but it's done comedically. Like it's hard to explain. Like certain shots are very bad, but it's because it's leaning in on it. Yeah.
It's into it.
Right. It leans into it. It's very silly. Some of the shots, it even does a lot of things that comedic movies do now, as far as like the camera, like the evil is coming and then it cuts back to the reaction. The evil's coming, cuts back, and it just keeps doing that for like a long period of time, But I say all of that because the lead in that movie, I don't know if you're familiar with the Sam Raimi Evil Dead 2 lead, Bruce Campbell, who's worked a lot with Sam Raimi. You watch him in this movie. I didn't see Evil Dead 1. I don't know if he's doing it there, but from what I understand, this one's more like slapsticky comedy. This is the birth of Jim Carrey. You watch him in here, he does so many things that Jim Carrey had to have been aware of, had to have taken from Bruce Campbell, which I love Jim. He's on the Mount Rushmore of like millennial inspiration. But check out Evil Dead 2 just to see what Bruce Campbell is doing, and you're like, this is Jim Carrey, which is really interesting. Yeah. all that just I left that loose end on our previous bonus
It needed to
episode.
come
So
full circle.
it's like a sneeze that you don't get out. I just had to. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. We will have more episodes for you coming up here soon. Monday, we'll have a new movie to review for you. Last Monday, if you didn't see it, should be The Monkey, which technically we haven't recorded yet because we're front loading because I'm going to be gone for a bit. But nonetheless,
Everyone's gonna hear these all out of order and be like, "What the fuck is happening?"
That means they're listening to multiple episodes, so thank you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Become a part of our tribe. You can find us on Seeing This Pod on all our socials and also at seeingthispod.com. Until then, stay safe. See ya.